Meanwhile, the Goggle 5 team were patrolling the city for any signs of Death Dark. They were Kenshi, Kanpi, Saburo, Fushi, and Miki patrolling the area. Unfortunately, they ran into the United Alliance of Evil. "These are the Goggle 5, said Ryuan. "We might as well crush them while we have the chance." "Whoa," said Kenshi, looking at them. Death Dark outdid themselves this time. "Telekinetic crush force," said Gaija, who began to push them aside. The Goggle 5 team immediately transformed into their team colors and did their roll call. Karth's and Jaru's soldiers began to show up left and right. Fortunately, Satoru's team arrived to help the Goggle 5. "Cease it right there, Ryuan," said Satoru. "We're here to stop you," said Kimberly. "What? Our chances to win are ruined. I hate you guys," said Ryuan. "Ryuan, so you never mend to your old ways, do you?" said Satoru. "I wonder what you were doing while you were earned back to a human." "I was living my life as a pickpocket thanks to you, but now I am back for a vengeance," said Ryuan. "New Power Rangers?" said Catherine. "Not exactly," said Boken Red. The fight occurred with the Goggle 5 gaining an edge. Boken Red released the drill crusher to fire a shot, enabling their retreat. "We'll get them somehow," said Ryuan, who noticed they're gone. "Meanwhile, we've got to focus on the Death Dark Alliance." The Goggle 5 team introduced themselves, and so did Satoru's team of the episode together with Catherine. "So what's really going on?" asked Kenshi. "Long story, really," said Satoru. "As you know, these guys are not from Death Dark, but from the United Alliance of Evil. They are seeking to destroy every last Super Sentai force back in their time periods." "Heavy," said Gunpei. "So you're really from the future, are you?" On the other hand, Kimberly was pretty entertained to hear about Miki being a gymnast. At Death Dark headquarters, "It seems we are having more powerful opponents," said Führer Taboo. "Indeed, Master," said Death Mark. "Sire, allow me to go and search these guys," said Death Killer. All of a sudden, Ryuan, Gaija, Yamba, and Shizuka entered. "What the?" said Marzuka. "It seems we have some unwelcome guests after all," said Deathmark. "We are the United Alliance of Evil," said Ryuan, introducing himself. "I am Ryuan, the Jaru King, and he is Gaija, the High Priest of Gordom, and the next two are Yamba and Shizuka. We are here to help you defeat the Goggle 5. "So what's your proposal?" said Deathmark. "We are here to lend you my very own DNA," said Ryuan. "What?" said Deathmark. "It could be your key to victory," said Gaija. "There's no harm in trying," said Marzuka. "Very well then, we accept your proposal." Ryuan began to bleed himself, releasing his own blood into a test tube. His wound then accelerated in its healing. The Mardra man assigned to do so began to pour Ryuan's blood right into the monster-making machine. A dragon-like creature appeared. "Behold, Jarumozo," said Jarumozo. "At this point, this monster will be serving Death Dark," said Ryuan, "and we will be helping you get rid of the Goggle 5 and their new abilities." "It is time to test his abilities," said Death Killer. "We might as well test his combat abilities in the field." Jarumozo was sent onto the field to test his combat abilities. "Now it's time to test his abilities," said Death Killer. Jarumozo began spewing up huge balls of fire. The Goggle 5 team immediately responded into the battlefield with Boken Red, Gohan Black, Zeo Ranger 3, Maji Yellow, and Pink Ranger 1. "It's a new monster," said Goggle Red. "Surprised, Goggle 5, said Death Killer. "Now, Jarumozo, show us your abilities against them." Jarumozo started throwing molten rocks, which were hard to dodge. "Hot, hot," said Pink Ranger 1. Pink Ranger 1 tried to shoot her arrow at Jarumozo, only discovered he was fast enough to scorch the arrows. "He's too fast," said Pink Ranger 1. The Goggle 5 team were being hit by meteors. They tried the Goggle Victory Flash, but it failed. At last, we got a monster immune to the Goggle Victory Flash, said Deathkiller, and we didn't need to do anything else. Oh, this is great, very great, said Marzura. Let's try the Drill Crusher, said Boken Red. It was revealed that Jarumozo was powered by the Gordom engine too. What the Gordom engine, said Boken Red. This monster is too powerful. I think we got to retreat, said Goggle Blue. We're no match for him. I can't agree more on that, said Goggle Red. Well, retreat, I've got a fast solution, said Boken Red, but it's not always going to be used. But first a distraction, said Maji Yellow, who casted his lightning to crash on the others. Okay, 1, 2, 3, said Boken Red. The Search Guard time train appeared and teleported them out of quick distance. Those cowards will be back, said Deathkiller. Hee hee, looks like it's time to commence stage 2, said Ryuan. What would that be now, said Shizunka. That would be we try to get Mount Fuji to erupt with Jarumozo, said Yamba. We agreed to help Pure Taboo with it. I agree with you, but that does require some time, said Ryuan, and unfortunately our monster is quite exhausted. I need more rest, said Jarumozo. He needs to rest now, said Shizunka. If not, we can't proceed with the plan to let Mount Fuji erupt. Retreat then, said Deathkiller. Meanwhile, the Goggle 5 team and Satoru's team were thinking of a solution towards the problem. I think we should try to get it cooled down first before we attack that angry fire-breathing dragon, said Satoru. But how do we do that? Asked Catherine. I think we can send you to the future for that, said Kimberly. Or we could ask Ranu and Billy to do some analytical steps. Well, the enemy is about fire, said Rocky. I guess we should think of cooling it off. So I was thinking about that we should try to cool the enemy down. Billy usually had some techniques. Ranu has hers, too. On the other hand, I noticed that monster has a tendency to overheat, too, said Satoru. We've got to figure it out, said Kimberly. Where do we get also much cold? At the Death Dark Fortress, the forces of evil were now ready for their next move. So it looks like the monster isn't perfect after all, said Pure Taboo. When can we begin to erupt Mount Fuji? I can't wait for it to erupt prematurely. Nothing's perfect, said Ryuan. Our plan will soon be in action, but Jarumozo needs some energy to be powered up. He just needs rest, said Gaija. The Gordom engine inside him may not be ready to adopt Death Dark's technology. Will the Death Dark succeed in blowing up Japan? Will Satoru and his team succeed in finding a way to outsmart the monster? Find out in the exciting conclusion. Next chapter. And I thought the repetition was getting bad before. This story is nothing but repetition. And once again, that issue I brought up with the superficial aspects, yeah, Goggle 5 is not about gymnastics. It's about science. Capital letter science at that. With only the Pink Ranger Miki being a gymnast. After what happened with the Denji men, I'm not surprised that he knows nothing about Goggle 5. And in addition to all of that, you may have noticed that the Operation Overdrive bashing and praising of Bokenger is becoming more and more frequent in this story. I'll be talking more about that next week. See you then, and hopefully the Goggle 5 will actually get to do something in their own damn chapter.